I opened the store in December of 2015, and a lot of people might think that's kind of strange. It's like, why are you opening a store that sells physical media in 2015? And now it's 2017. It's like, why are you doing this? Have you not realized that physical media is dying and nobody's buying? Well, it's just all this stuff. It's like, no. I think a lot of it just is about perspective. I think that if your perception of whether physical media or in general, or Blu-ray specifically, is dying, is based on the number of square feet at your local Best Buy that's dedicated to Blu-rays, or the number of titles in the previous year that sold 1 million copies. I can see how you might think, yeah, okay, this is in decline. But actually, I don't feel like it's that as much as it's just more, it's transitioning into something else. Because I think you see a lot of these boutique labels that are coming up, where one label comes along and they put out a movie and they sell 1,000 copies or whatever, and it's like, oh hey, and we made money. And so the more companies that come along and do that, and they show a model, a replicable model for success, the more that inspires people. And I think you just look at it and you say, all right, none of these labels are going anywhere. I mean, Criterion's not going anywhere. Kino or Studio Canal or Shout Factory or Vinegar Syndrome. None of these companies, you don't hear about these companies withering up and going away. They're going strong. And if anything, they're showing the way for more companies to get into doing it. You have a company like Grasshopper that just came along, and they're offering stuff that's fantastic. As long as these companies continue to exist and to flourish, there's going to continue to be product. And as long as there continues to be product, I'm going to have a business here at Foreign Exchange Blu-ray Imports, because there'll be stuff for people to buy. A lot of times I have people ask me well, how did you even think to do this? Where did this store come from? And the thing is that it's largely based on my own experiences of building my own personal collection. For my collection at home, I'd have certain directors that I would collect, and then you would hear, oh, this movie that's not available in the United States has been released somewhere else. And then it would become a matter of, okay, well, how do I get that? Being able to walk in the door and grab a Korean movie, a French movie, a British movie, and then walk out, and not having to order them, not having to assemble huge orders from each country in order to make the shipping work, and not having to wait and deal with all the other stuff. So that to me was where this came from. It's just from my own experience. Almost from the beginning, I started having customers who became regulars. They would kind of drop by the store, pick up a couple of things here and there. And over time, they would ask me, oh, could you set something aside for me, or they would give me a request. And it kind of evolved to a point where I tell people it's oftentimes like a comic book store, where something will come in. Whenever stuff comes in, I'll post it online. And my regular customers, they know to reach out to me. They're like, hey, I saw that you got this movie. It's like, is that available, or does somebody already have dibs on it? And so they'll ask me to set things inside, and then, like I said, like a comic book store, they'll drop in once a week. They'll grab their holds. And so yeah, it's really kind of evolved to where, you get folks that, drop in sometimes once a week, sometimes a couple times a month. But yeah, it's become really interesting, because you get certain folks that you see a lot, and It's really neat. It really, I mean, from the beginning, I wanted the store to have sort of like a feeling like a community, and it's taken that on to a certain extent.